Coming up on 5 Minute News. Justice Department issues dozens of subpoenas linked to January 6. Biden touts Cancer Moonshot on anniversary of JFK's speech. And smoke from wildfires compromises air quality across US West. It's Tuesday, September 13. I'm Anthony Davis. The US Justice Department has issued more than 40 subpoenas over the past week, seeking information about efforts by former President Donald Trump and his allies to overturn the 2020 election, the New York Times reported on Monday. Boris Epshteyn, a longtime Trump advisor, and Mike Roman, a campaign strategist for Trump, had their phones seized last week as evidence, the Times said, citing people familiar with the situation. Dan Scavino, Trump's former social media director, was also among those who were subpoenaed, according to the paper, which said the group included low-level aides as well as senior advisors. The subpoenas seek information on a failed bid by Trump and his allies to overturn the results of the 2020 election by submitting alternative slates of fake electors. The inquiry is also looking at the January 6 assault on the U.S. Capitol by Trump supporters. Some of the subpoenas also seek information on Trump's Save America political fundraising group, which the Times said was a new line of inquiry by the Justice Department. Meanwhile, Trump's attorneys on Monday opposed a U.S. Justice Department request to immediately resume examining the contents of classified documents seized by the FBI from his Florida estate last month in an ongoing criminal investigation. His lawyers in a filing also asked U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon to make those roughly 100 documents, among the more than 11,000 records found, part of a review that an independent arbiter called a special master will conduct to vet all the materials. Also, the New York judge overseeing a tax fraud case against the Trump Organization on Monday rejected any effort to delay next month's trial, acknowledging concern that former President Trump's company might be trying to stall the criminal case. Donald Trump was spotted on his Virginia golf course on Monday, holding court with a group of allies, but seemingly no golf was played. President Joe Biden signed orders on Monday to push more government dollars into the U.S. biotechnology industry as he promoted his initiative to create new treatments and cut the death rate from cancer. Cancer doesn't care if you're Republican or Democrat, Biden said at the John F. Kennedy Library in Boston on the 60th anniversary of JFK's Moonshot speech that urged Americans to lead in the exploration of space. Biden drew a parallel between the former president's goal of reaching the moon and his own goal of cutting cancer death rates in half in the next 25 years. He said research could spark medical breakthroughs, including a vaccine to prevent cancer or a blood test that could detect cancer in an annual physical. The executive order allows the federal government to direct funding for the use of microbes and other biologically derived resources to make new foods, fertilizers, and seeds, as well as making mining operations more efficient, administration officials said. The order directs the federal government to ensure biotechnologies invented in the United States of America are made in the United States of America, Biden said. Biomanufacturing has been used to generate cancer treatments, including those derived from plants or using re-engineered immune cells. California firefighters are battling large blazes across the state as the West's fire season heats up, covering swathes of Oregon, Washington, California, and Canada in heavy smoke that has also traveled across the U.S. Rain from Tropical Storm Kay brought relief to firefighters in Southern California after a punishing heat wave gripped much of the state for more than a week and sent some crews to the hospital. In Northern California, a large wildfire continues to threaten thousands of mountain homes in the foothills east of Sacramento and has forced the evacuation of 11,000 people. The mosquito fire has torched nearly 65 square miles and is 10% contained, according to the California Department of Forestry and Fire. The fire sent smoke over a large portion of the northern Sierra region. California health officials urge people in affected areas to stay indoors where possible. Lake Tahoe, more than 50 miles away from the fire, is facing some of the worst effects, with smoke producing unhealthy to hazardous air quality in the region. For the second year in a row, organizers of the Tour de Tahoe cancelled the annual 72-mile bicycle ride scheduled on Sunday around Lake Tahoe because of heavy smoke. Southern California finally saw cooler temperatures this weekend, but also flood warnings as the tropical storm helped put an end to the blistering heat that had nearly pushed the state's power grid to its limit before Kay largely disappeared. You can subscribe to 5 Minute News on YouTube with your preferred podcast app. Ask your smart speaker or enable 5 Minute News as your Amazon Alexa flash briefing skill. Subscribe, rate and review online at 5minute.news. 5 Minute News is an Evergreen podcast covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering independent, unbiased and essential world news daily.